Hey everybody, this is Dale with Networking Step by Step, and in today's video cheat sheet we're going to be configuring an OSPF virtual link. First we're going to do some baseline show commands to see if the discontiguous area is actually sending and receiving prefixes, and then we're going to configure a virtual link across OSPF area 2 to extend OSPF area 0 down to the discontiguous area, and then we're going to do some show commands to verify that all of that worked. So let's look at the network topology. We're going to extend OSPF area 0 from 4 down to 6 to get this discontiguous area 3 here connected to the backbone or connected to OSPF area 0. One of the rules within OSPF is that all OSPF areas have to have at least one connection to the backbone or OSPF area 0, and obviously right now area 3 down here does not. It's connected to area 2. So we're going to once again configure a virtual link to extend OSPF area 0 between router 4 and router 6. So let's go ahead and get started. Do a show command here on router 4 to see if we're learning router 7's loopback address, to see if everything's working just fine, and of course we don't have it. So then let's go over to router 7 and do a show IP route and see maybe if it has any prefixes. And it does not. It only has what's connected. So let's extend OSPF area 0 to satisfy the rule that is within OSPF. And the way you do that is with an area 2 or an area virtual link command underneath the router process. Now the area that you use is the area that you are traversing. So we're going to extend area 0 across area 2 and to a virtual link address or a router ID address from router 6 to router 4 and from router 4 to router 6. In a previous video cheat sheet, I showed you how to hard code your router ID. Here is an extremely good application as to why you want to do that. You are tying your virtual link to a router ID. If your router ID is changing because you leave it up to dynamic means and you add other interfaces at other times, and it decides that, hey, I want to follow that higher loopback address, then your virtual links will go down until you point it to the new router ID. So hard coding the router IDs is a very good idea, and then you can point these virtual links to them. So on router 6, we're going to once again traverse area 2 and point it to the router ID of 4. Now we are actually going to be running OSPF across these links. So that's how we extend, and as you can see, we're already starting to get some virtual link error messages, which means it's communicating back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and configure this real quick, but we're actually going to extend OSPF over this virtual link all the way down between router 4 and router 6. So let's look here at router 4. I did a show IP OSPF neighbor, and as you can see, not only do we have the neighbor with router 6 over the normal Ethernet interface, but we also have this new neighbor ID to 6 over the OSPF virtual link. So our virtual link is up. We've extended it down between router 4 and router 6. Let's see if router 4 now has the route to router 7's loopback address. It didn't before. See right here, network not in table, but let's see if it does now. Now that we extended the area 0 down to it, and sure enough, there it is. It's learned via OSPF process 4 from 6. So let's go ahead and go over to router 7 and see how it's. But remember, before router 7 didn't have any prefixes at all except what was connected, and now it has all the prefixes. So by extending OSPF area 0 down to this discontiguous area, it's now connected, although virtually, but it's connected to the OSPF backbone. That's how you create a virtual link. Once again, underneath the OSPF process ID area, the area that the virtual link is going to traverse, and then you set the virtual link and you point it to the other area border router's router ID that hopefully you hard coded.